I've been around the world many times, but I've never, ever seen a place like Mount Athos, where we spent a couple of weeks this year. It hasn't changed in 1,000 years. 20 monasteries, 2,000 monks, no newspapers, no radio, no television. And we had such a good time. Half of you won't be able to go because a woman hasn't been allowed in Mount Athos in more than 1,000 years. We're going to take you to a place outside our world. It's not Mars or Venus, but it might as well be. It's a remote peninsula in northern Greece that is the most sacred spot on Earth. It's called Mount Athos, and prayers have been offered here every day with no interruption for more than 1,000 years. It was set aside by ancient emperors to be the spiritual capital of Orthodox Christianity, and has probably changed less over the centuries than any other inhabited place on the planet. The monks come here from all over and do everything they can to keep what they call the world far away. Not surprisingly, we've been frankly pleased one monastic wall after another. Then, much to our surprise and delight, a few months ago, the monks said, "Okay, come see who we are." This Byzantine crossed the border between Mount Athos and the 21st century, as they always have, for the beauty, tranquility, and the isolation. But most of all, for this. There's one of the Americans on the mountain. He's been here more than half his life.
You have to understand the words that we're saying in today's liturgy, words that Christ was saying, the same words that saints from the 1st century, the 2nd century, 3rd century, the 4th century.
And nothing orthodoxy since then. It's the only branch of Christianity that can make that claim. Father Eliseos is the abbot, the top man at Simonos Petros, one of the 20 monasteries. It was Abbot Eliseos who invited us here and never let us forget what a rare privilege it was.
It happened once.
The last time you invited a television crew here was 1981.
But your persistence convinced us to open the door.
The door he opened revealed the wonder that is its land on top of a rock 800 feet above the Aegean. It was built in the 14th century, and the monks will tell you it must be considered a miracle that it hasn't fallen into the sea. There are 20. They rise from virgin forests, and there's nothing on this 130 square mile peninsula other than monasteries and monks. We expected Mount Athos to be a quiet place, but we couldn't have imagined how quiet until we were dropped off here. The
how to get closer to God.
Father Serapion wanted us to understand that there is no place closer to heaven than Mount Athos.
Μόνο πάνω από 1,000 εκκλησίες κάθε μέρα κάνουν θεία λειτουργία.
Every day, 1,000 divine liturgies are celebrated on the peninsula.
Είναι μοναδικό.
It's unique in the world and in the Orthodox.
Exactly what makes it unique.
Ο απόλυτος της ζωής των μοναχών.
It's the absolute way of life of the monks.
It's a Spartan way of life, but all the monks we talked to said they never want to leave, even for a day. So they try to be self-sufficient, grow their own fruits and vegetables, do their own tailoring, and when they get sick, there's remarkably little cancer, virtually no heart disease or Alzheimer's. They must be doing something right in addition to drinking wine at 9 in the morning. They eat 2 meals a day. There's what they call the first meal, which lasts 10 minutes, and the second meal, which lasts 10 minutes. There's no meat and no dinner table conversation. The only sound, a monk reading from sacred texts. We were surprised by how busy the monks are. When they're not praying, they're working. Father Theodosius, born a Lutheran in Germany, is a monk who has given the monastery continuous electricity and occasional hot water.
Many Christians in the world, they are looking for the original church, for the ancient.
You think this is just to the original church?
Yes. When you come to Orthodoxy, you will see it has everything you ever sought for.
Father Avernios takes care of the ancient footpaths here. He clears the trails. We went with him on what was for us an exhausting hike on the hills above the monastery. It wasn't tough for him, though. He says that after decades of roaming the world, this is his path.
I've been to many places.
Tell me where.
From Switzerland, from Finland, Spain, Portugal, Singapore, Australia, Texas.
Texas. How did you like Texas?
I liked very much. I liked mostly the people.
Now, with all the traveling you've done, how did you end up?
I was searching for a way of life. I can give myself to that. And I think the God of Jesus is above all the others, money, lifestyle, even family.
The family at Simonas Petrus consists of 54 monks from 8 countries. The Yakovos came here 25 years ago from Winthrop, Massachusetts. This is about as beautiful as it gets.
I think so.
He took us on a tour of the monastery. It'd be tough enough to build on top of a rock today, but how did they do it in the 13th century?
Which even modern day architects are amazed at. When the workers came and saw this to build, they looked at him and they said,
You're crazy.
"Are you crazy?"
So being crazy was not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Now, back then, how did you get stuff up here?
We have mules.
It takes 15 minutes to walk through the monastery into the sunlight, enough time to find at the age of 6 when his father showed him a picture.
It was just so impressive. And I turned around and I said to him, "Dad, I don't think that I'm going to be able to believe the building until I step on those balconies myself."
Destiny.
It is a little bit too.
From the age of 6.
Yes.
Father Yakovos doesn't follow what's going on anywhere else today. There are no newspapers, no radio, no television on Mount Athos. There are a few last year. His father was dying.
Prior to his death, he was asking if I would go so I could see him one last time.
Reasonable request.
From a father, I think so. My response, I didn't go because of the fact that Monastics do not go to funerals of their relatives or their friends. They remain here at the monastery.
When your father asked you to come see him one last time, and you said no, was there any feeling of I'm letting my father down?
Not at all. I know that we're going to see each other in paradise one day.
The whole idea at Mount Athos is not only to isolate oneself from the outside world, but to let go of all memories of one's past life. Here, as I understand it, is prayer without...
I'm not being distracted.
First, laughing.
Why am I laughing? Because we're to pray unceasingly.
What's funny about that?
That's not what's funny about it. What's funny is
praying every minute of the day.
even right now when we're talking.
Really? You don't see Father Iakovos praying while he's talking, but look at these other monks. They just keep reciting the Jesus prayer day and night. Lord Jesus, have mercy on me. It becomes like breathing. Some monks say they can pray when they sleep, and they get no more than 3 hours sleep a night. But Mount Athos gets more applicants than it can handle. It's bigger than Harvard. The man comes as a novice, he's free to leave if he doesn't like it, and the monks can tell him to leave if they don't like him. When a novice arrives here, can you tell whether he's going to make it or not? Can you tell whether he's going to qualify to be a monk?
Όχι παραπάνω από ελάχιστο χρόνο το καταλαβαίνω.
After a while, it becomes pretty obvious whether or not someone is cut out for it, which is why we have a trial period, which can last up to 3 years.
I bet you know a lot sooner than 3 years. Perverse.
Certainly.
Once you have community, it's a life commitment, and life never changes here. Never. In the morning, a single bell rings, informing the brothers that it's their own, and start praying in church. On a typical day, and every day is a typical day, the services last 8 hours. The monks say it's an 8-hour conversation with God, a dress rehearsal for eternity. And remember, this doesn't only happen on Sundays, it happens every day, 365 days a year. Among us is the Divine Liturgy, the life of Christ, celebrated by men whose only passion is to move closer to Christ every day. The depth of their devotion defies description. They didn't look like the same monks we had met in the gardens and the workshops. They were utterly transformed, with a concentration so profound they were immune to occasional flashes of ecstasy. This old monk could have risen out of a Rembrandt.
Βούλο meum προσεύχεστε τους άνδρας εν παντή τόπο.
There are no musical instruments in the church, just chanting, chanting without end. Many of the voices, the basses in particular, could have made it at the Met. We didn't understand the words. We didn't have to. This phrase we knew. Lord, have mercy.
So, as we know, this was early 1400s that this was built. There is no way that these people lived there 600 years ago. There's no way that these people lived there 600 years ago. I'm going to play another quick video. Give me a second.
The most miraculous thing about Mount Athos is simply the fact that it
Picture that shit, man. Mm. Mm. Okay. Sound good. Right. I know. I can't wait. You send me the ones you got so I can check it out. See if anybody you know got any picture. Yeah, this wild right now. So anybody in Florida, go outside and see if you see anything weird in the sky right now. There is something that was launched in Florida, and people saying that it like went up. It was like a big. They, I'm not really getting a clear description, basically, but something went up, and then when it came down, to kind of, I guess, was like how like when they do fireworks, you know how like the lights and stuff will be coming down when it explodes, whatever. So all this, some kind of particles. They said it looked, it's kind of like a clown or something when it went up in the sky. The picture or something it gave, and then it came down like in an explosive nature, and it like fell, like whatever it was fell like to the ground. So I don't know, would it have been some nanoparticles or something of the sort, something that sounds real weird as hell and strange. But if you're in Florida, if you're outside and you can take a pic for me, make sure you do that and send it. Maybe do it from your window. Don't go outside in it because it sounds strange. I don't know exactly what it is, but if you can like look from your window maybe and just see if you see anything strange and get a pic or something, yeah, send it to them if you do. Let's try this, y'all. We're gonna see how this is. I can win for here. Every time I try to get this thing going, it starts something else. So hold on 1 second. Let's see. Craziness of it all. It done shut everything down. Sharing, get to the page. Oh, let me see if I gotta check my email. Hold on, guys. I might actually put it differently. I was supposed to be putting something else sent to me. Yeah, couple of you guys been sending me some good information. Um, talking and talking and talking, and I didn't even realize I was muted. This thing is so retarded. It was showing unmuted, but either way, yeah, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to get this video pulled up. Give me a second here. Trying to get a video that was sent to me, requested. Um, in regards to black nobility. Oh, excuse me, guys. I was up so early today. I'm gonna start taking a nap like a baby do. You know they say when you get older, you start reverting. Okay, let's see. All right, I think it's pulling up, guys. Let's give it a second. Yes. Yeah, this really ain't the time. I usually have a little patience, guys, but this ain't gonna work. So you guys did see the video, though. I wanted you to see that castle on the mountain was the thing. Was really the only reason I really played the video. This other video on the Black Mobility, we'll definitely get that in sometime today. I'll get back on here. It's obviously a little busy right now for some reason, so it's a lot going on. But basically, did you guys see that castle sitting on that mountain on the edge? Who do you think built that? Who do you think built that? They said it was there since way before the early 1400s. So if it was there before the early 1400s, these people weren't even around that time. So we know who built it. So I wanted to show that, and I'm gonna get out of here, y'all, with that, and I'll be back later. Peace.